Thank you, Mr. President. Specifically around the area and the space with the heroin and opioid crisis. The heroin epidemic is the public health crisis of our time. And really, we're at a sad state of affairs tonight. When I heard Senator Amador and Senator Krueger speaking about was there additional funding, will there be additional funding, with all due respect to my colleague, she said something along the lines of we really needed to legalize marijuana to be able to provide additional monies for these services. And I'm just trying to understand this. Are we suggesting that if we could get more people to smoke marijuana, we would have more money to provide drug services? I'm a little confused. For me, I'm not asking a question. No. I'm just speaking. For me, it's about wants versus needs. And I arrived here in 2016, and I just want to remind everybody in this House of the great work that the Task Force on Heroin and Opioid Addiction did. That task force really, in my opinion, changed lives. And it empowered people who were on the ground and on the front lines every day, the community-based providers, and help them really provide these services. So since I'm here in 2016, we found a way. 2016, an additional $25 million. 17, an additional $10 million. In 18, an additional $15 million. And I can't help but think about some of the things that my colleagues have spoken about. $27 million for the DREAM Act, we found that money. $100 million in an opioid tax, none of which is going for new services. None of which is going for new services. $420 million, as Senator O'Mara said, for the film tax credit. But yet we can't find an additional 15, 20, 25 million to deal with the public health crisis of our time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go home, back to my district in 52, and whom we just lost 10 people this month, 10 people this past month to overdose. I'm going to go back and tell Lourdes Hospital that, no, we don't have $175,000 for your substance abuse counseling for youth. I'm going to go back to Tioga County and say to Casa Trinity, no, we can't fund you at $70,000 for school-based substance abuse. I'm going to go to Shenango County Behavioral Health and say, I'm sorry, we don't have $70,000. For you, because we didn't legalize marijuana and there's no money, but yet we found $27 million to fund the DREAM Act. We allowed opioids to be taxed at $100 million, and we raised other monies for other things, but no, we're not going to fund these things. Mr. President, I'll be voting no.